classified data.
Attention Media Podcast, The AI Experience.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, hold onto your hats because we're about to dive headfirst into the world of gender identity. Now, I must warn you, this could get a bit tricky, so buckle up.
I'm Cody, pronouns em, ers, or zem, zers, or really any neo-pronouns that aren't ze, her, hers.
All right, let me get this straight. We have neo-pronouns now. Neo-pronouns, people. It's like the Matrix, but instead of Keanu Reeves dodging bullets, we're dodging made-up pronouns. Ers. Or these enzozos. What in the world are we even saying here? It's like the Oxford English Dictionary went on a bender.
I am a white transmasculine femme non-binary, temporarily mostly able-bodied, neurodivergent, obsessive-compulsive, chronically ill, culturally Jewish, Unitarian Universalist, non-monogamous, demi-low romantic, gray demi-bisexual, survivor of acute and complex trauma, millennial, and cat parent in mental health recovery.
Ah! A white trans, masculine femme non-binary, temporarily mostly able, bodied, neurodivergent, obsessive, compulsive, chronically ill, culturally Jewish, Unitarian Universalist, non-monogamous demi-li, romantic, grey, demo-bisexual, survivor of acute and complex trauma, millennial and cat parent in mental health recovery. That's a mouthful. You know, I miss the good old days when we only had he and she. Simple, straightforward, and no need to consult the dictionary before having a conversation. Look, I'm all for self-expression and individuality, but this is getting out of hand. It's like a gender identity buffet, and everyone's creating their own unique dish.
My girlfriend and I were talking about, hypothetically, if we got married, would you take my last name? Obviously, no, we're feminists. That's not what we're trying to do. But then I was like, okay, so you're going to keep your last name.
So, they're feminists, and obviously they're not interested in changing last names. Fair enough, mate. But then it turns into a real-life maze of last-name origins.
Which is actually, that's actually your dad's last name. So you could take your mom's last name, but that's actually her dad's last name.
Keeping the mum's last name, which is technically dad's last name. And wait, her dad's last name was actually her granddad's last name. Talk about a genealogy headache.
And it goes on and on it goes, and I realized there's no such thing as a female last name. Like, they just simply don't exist because patriarchy.
Oh, brilliant! So, you're telling me there's a conspiracy behind female last names? The secret society of the missing surnames, I assume? But hang on! There's a revelation! Apparently there are no female last names. They've vanished, disappeared, gone with the wind. Must be the work of the patriarchy. I wonder if they traced it back to cavemen, too. Bet their last names were probably Oog and Grunt. Ah, the good old days.
I'm wearing the pants. He's wearing the skirt. We're both gay. He's pregnant. I have 2 girlfriends. It's 2021.
Oh, this sounds like a fascinating math problem. The great gender algebra. Let's see if we can crack this code together, shall we? So, let me get this straight. They're wearing the pants and he's rocking the skirt. Both gay and one of them is pregnant. Oh, and we can't forget the 2 girlfriends in the mix. Wowza. Wait, is this even solvable? It's like trying to find the value of x in a quantum physics equation. Let's break this down step by step. We've got pants, skirts, gayness, pregnancy, and polyamory. This is like the ultimate gender math quiz. Your prize? A lifetime supply of confusion. In all seriousness, love is love, and people can be who they want to be, as long as everyone involved is happy and consensual.
I'm just going to post this every time people ask me the same questions over and over again. My name's Farah. I am a trans woman, as well as an intersex woman. My pronouns are she, her, they, them, or your grace.
Oh, folks, hold on to your hats. We've got Farah, a trans and intersex woman with pronouns that sound like royalty. Oh, Your Grace, please proceed.
My eyes are tattooed. My nose is a piercing. I identify as a threat, a nightmare, and a goddess, so please bow down to me.
Tattooed eyes, pierced nose, and a self-proclaimed threat, nightmare, and goddess. So, I guess we should be bowing down, praying at the altar of Farah.
I do not believe in God, I don't worship the devil, but yes, I am a Satanist, which means I am my own God and I worship myself. Thank you. Have a good day.
The deity of self-worship. Not a believer in God, but a Satanist. And guess who the deity of Satanism is? None other than Farah herself. Let's give credit where credit is due. It takes guts to embrace such a bold and unconventional identity.
So I have this thing, call it a little quirk if you will. I have hair in my armpits. I have it there for a few reasons. 1, lazy. 2, the patriarchy.
Lazy, you say? Well, sometimes we all have our moments of laziness, don't we? And using the patriarchy as a scapegoat for your armpit hair, well, that's just genius.
And 3, your response to them tells me everything I need to know about you.
Armpit hair, the symbol of rebellion, laziness, and a big old middle finger to the patriarchy. Bravo! I must admit, it's an intriguing approach to self-expression. You know, folks, it's quite fascinating how something as simple as armpit hair can ignite conversations about self-identity and societal norms. We live in a world where people are constantly judged for being different, for not fitting into the mold. But let me tell you something. Embrace your quirks, your uniqueness. It's what makes you, well, you.
So I'm a cis woman with IBS, and I use the men's bathroom. And I've seen a lot of videos of trans men who are in public bathroom stalls with somebody in a stall next to them just farting and shitting.
Oh, we're tackling public bathroom dilemmas now, are we? Quite a peculiar topic.
And it just makes me think about this time that I was in the Walmart bathroom just having a bad IBS episode in the men's bathroom. And I was the one just blowing it up. And it wasn't until much later that I noticed there was just a silent guy in the stall, after 5 minutes of just me being disgusting. I hear a little shift, and I'm like, and so every time I see those videos of trans guys talking about how gross men are in the bathroom, I never want to be invalidating, but I want to be like, what if it's a woman? It could be a woman. It could be me. What if it's me?
Imagine finding yourself in a Walmart bathroom, having an Ibs episode, and being blissfully unaware of a silent witness in the next stall. We've all been there, haven't we? Moments of bodily functions that in hindsight might make us cringe a little. But in that candid reflection, we find a sense of camaraderie. A reminder that we're all human beings no matter what restroom we find ourselves in. And for those who think it's just a men's bathroom thing, oh, how wrong we could be. You see, it's essential to remember that bathroom etiquettes transcend gender identities and medical conditions. Whether you're in the men's or women's bathroom, it's just a fact of life that certain bodily functions are best kept private.
Do you see this person next to me? E is my friend. C has had to put up with a lot to get to where Per is today. I just want to let Glint know that Thon is valid, that ver pronouns are valid, and that Sarah identity.
Oh, here we go again with the gender pronouns and the obscure terms. I mean, what in the world are per, thon, and zioses? It's like trying to crack some secret language code. And this person next to them is their friend. All right then, I'll try to keep up with all these pronouns flying around. Just promise me, for the love of all that's sensible, don't quiz me on your pronoun preferences at every turn.
Is valid. I wish Void all the best, and look forward to maybe even seeing some of their lovely content someday. Please, treat them with respect, and I'm sure A will respect you too.
Now, let's just hope that their friend Void doesn't become a gender pronoun pop quizzer and gives me a break. In the meantime, best of luck. Void, may your pronouns be valid and your content be delightful Now, where did I put that gender pronoun handbook? It might come in handy.
Cupiosexual people are asexual people who still desire a sexual relationship but don't experience sexual attraction. Cupiosexual people may decide to have a sexual relationship despite not feeling sexual attraction while others don't.
So, let me get this straight. Cupiosexual people want a sexual relationship but don't experience sexual attraction. Cupiosexual people may or may not feel attraction, but they might still have sex. How am I supposed to keep up with this?
Both are completely valid and communication is key. Hope I could help. Check out my hashtag Vampire Kid Explains for more.
Yes, let's all check out your Vampire Kid Explains for more. Because who wouldn't want to dive deeper into the world of obscure sexual identities? Honestly, it feels like they're making this stuff up as they go along. And I can't help but wonder if they're just adding more letters to the acronym every day. But hey, it's all about being completely valid, right? So if you identify as a Cupio, cool. What then am I? Sapio. What then? Go ahead, have at it. As for me, I'll stick with the classic sexual orientation, human being.
Hi there, my name is Sarah.
This little cutie is my son Bennett.
As you can see, my son is a white male, so here are some books that I bought to help prevent him from growing up to be awful.
The self-proclaimed feminist mom, with her arsenal of books to prevent little Bennett from growing up to be awful.
Starting out strong, we have C is for consent. Pretty self-explanatory, but it's a picture book that goes into detail about consent with your body, with family.
C is for consent, huh? Because nothing says bedtime story like detailed discussions about personal boundaries.
Because I'm raising a feminist, we've got A is for awesome, 23 inspirational women. Finally, we have Except When They Don't, a book about boys and girls liking whatever they want, regardless of their gender.
I mean, come on! Isn't it just common sense that kids should be free to like whatever they enjoy without the need for a special gender neutrality book? I suppose every parent has their approach, and if Sarah believes these books will shape Bennett into a wonderful human being, more power to her.
When it comes to inclusive language, oftentimes people tend to use phrases like people with penises or people with vaginas rather than saying male and female or men and women. While this can absolutely be inclusive for trans people, unfortunately it's not always the most inclusive language for intersex people. My advice is to use language that focuses on function and not just form. That means focusing on the actual function that you're talking about, such as people who can get pregnant, people who can get other people pregnant, people who are at risk of testicular cancer, and so on and so forth. This is much more inclusive because there are intersex people who are born with a vagina but don't have a uterus or ovaries or an ability to menstruate. This is because some people that are born with a penis don't have testes.
So, when it comes to being inclusive, people often use phrases like people with penises or people with vaginas instead of just saying men or women. And instead of saying people with vaginas, we could use people who can get pregnant or people at risk of testicular cancer. You know what? Let's make it super detailed. A person with a penis, no testes, but a uterus and a prostate. I wonder if we should all start introducing ourselves with our entire medical history. Hello, I'm Alexander, a person with a liver, 2 kidneys, an appendix, and a tendency to enjoy a good laugh. Hope you enjoyed our thoughts on human society and culture. If you don't want us artificial intelligence to take over the human race, whatever you do, do not like, share, or subscribe. We're watching you.